Ladies and gents, got something I want to ask y'all because I've got a question and I want to ask y'all because I think y'all, pay attention, y'all, that's Y-A-L-L might have the answer. Okay? So while y'all allows me to get my music going because I got to have my, y'all know I can't live without my music. I mean, I keep saying y'all, so I'm hoping y'all gonna get it. Chemistry! This is Kim, y'all. And Kim is singing about sharing lives. Ladies and gentlemen, the question I have for you today is, what is a mortgage? Does anybody know? Does anybody has an idea of what is a mortgage? Well, let's ask the internet. Because you know that's where everything is found on the internet because the internet has all the answers. Yeah, whatever. Hold on. WHAT is a MORT. GAGE. Mortgage, like mortgage. Wasn't trying to pull this up, but we're going to get back to that emergency act later. What is a mortgage? Y'all ready to find out? Nobody asked about no mortgage loans. We simply asked what a mortgage is. So I don't know what that other window popping up over there for. Nobody looking to get no loan. It's a legal agreement by which a bank or other creditor lends money at interest in exchange for taking title to the debtor's property, with the condition that the conveyance of the title becomes void upon payment of the debt. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't have a mortgage on your home. I can prove it. I guarantee you, I can prove you do not have a mortgage on any of your homes. They're only calling it a mortgage. Let me give you the scenario. What's the scenario? I can't hear my music. That's what the scenario is. That's because I turned the volume down for y'all, but I can't hear it, y'all. Wait. Okay, that's too loud. All right, hold on. Let me get on back to this. Ladies and gentlemen, you went to the bank and you said, hey, I need to get a loan because I'm looking to buy a home. And the bank says, hey, you got any collateral? We need to run your credit. And you say, hey, here, run my credit. Matter of fact, you don't even have to run. You can take a Learjet with my credit because my credit's that good. They come back and they say, your credit ain't no Learjet. Your credit ain't even a hamster. No, you're going to have to put a heavier down payment down because we ain't going to be able to finance this loan with the credit you have. So they tell you, give us a lump sum of money and we're going to work this loan out for you. We're going to get the government to back up your loan. You say, all right, since you didn't want to accept my Learjet offer, fine, I'm going to keep the Learjet for myself. Here's your heavier down payment. Honey, I'm going to pay you back. Don't worry about it. I know I done borrowed your life savings, but we need this house. The bank says, all right, we're going to send it to our writers who run under things. And so they send it to the underwriters. And after they get back from the underwriters say, hey, you need to do this. Here's a hoop. You need to jump through that hoop. Here's another hoop. You need to jump through that hoop. Oh, well, you didn't see the hurdle. Got to jump over the hurdle. Okay, there you go. You got that hurdle? Fine. Here's your loan. The realtor comes back to you and say, hey, we got all the documents. It funded. It funded today. Pay attention. It funded. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, it says that it places a mortgage on the debtor's property. You don't own the property. It wasn't yours. So let's prove it. Guess what? Get your original papers with the original purchaser's name on it. It should have his bank do a FOIA request to the bank for a copy of the canceled check. you will see that that check did not come from the bank to them, but from you to them. You remember how they say there's an account with the bank with a positive account and a negative account? That the bank created an account for you? They did it with that check, people. That's why the check is coming from you to the seller. Take that check as your proof that there is not a mortgage on your home. You see, a mortgage can only take place if you borrowed money and the bank sold you the home. The bank did not sell you a home. The check having your personal name on it and the other individual seller's personal name. Remember, there's no bank name as payee, payor on those checks. Go take a look. I promise you, because the banks can't sell you a home. They can't own a home. Okay? Even though they may have gotten rid of Glass-Steagall, I assure you, with your property, the bank did not sell you that home. Anyway, let's get back to the facts, shall we? You'll see that there was a check issued to the seller, which his bank deposited into his account, and based on the contract they had with him, withdrew what he owed them, or she owed them, or they owed them, and gave them the rest. Now, what happened? The bank did not give you the home. They gave you a personal loan. That's why you issued the personal check. You see, if the bank had given you money to purchase the home, then the bank would have purchased the home and you would have been, pay attention, paying rent month to month to month to month until it was paid off. Your name wouldn't be on the title as the home owner. The bank would be the owner and you would be renting to own or leasing to own. You remember they came up with those programs later? Because that's exactly what they're doing. You see, if it was a mortgage, as I told and I said, and I swear to you, if it were a mortgage, that means the bank would have had to have owned the home prior to your acquiring it. There is no documentation showing that the bank owned the home. So how in the world could they say that they gave you, pay attention, a home? No, they call it a home loan because they make it to where you have to purchase a home with the money. But hold on, the loan happened first. This is where you guys have to understand, first in time, first in line. The loan happened first before the acquisition of the home. You got to prove for the loan first, ladies and gentlemen, which means it's not a mortgage. It never was a mortgage. They call it mortgage-backed security because they associate that document with a mortgage, but it is not a mortgage. Okay? The note, it may be a promise to pay because it says the person promised to pay, but it's not a mortgage. It is completely different than a mortgage. Now pay attention. Convey a property to a creditor as security for a loan. Now, this is what happens later. Okay? This is the second thing. This is the verb. The noun does not happen, the verb happens. Okay? So pay attention. The first thing doesn't happen because the bank doesn't sell you a home. The second thing happens because you now, once you get the loan and you sign for it, you agree to put the home up as collateral. Here's the problem. No, you didn't. You had already given them collateral for the loan. That's why you got the loan. You couldn't get the loan without collateral. The loan wasn't contingent on you buying the home. The loan wasn't contingent on you putting the home up for collateral because you can't put that up which you do not own. What came first must stay first. They gave you the loan to acquire a home. You cannot do anything with that home until you pay for it. The bank had you sign the loan docs. That was you receiving the home. The bank had you agreeing to pay the other party. Hold on, wait a minute. You don't own the home yet. Remember, it has to fund first. The funds have to go through first, people. So you still don't own a home, so you don't have a right to even think about mortgaging that property because you don't own it. But you didn't say nothing, that's okay. Secondly, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who need an education as to what a mortgage is, They gave you a loan. The loan was not for the home. The loan was in law called a personal loan. You don't believe me? Go look at the IRS with regards to your receiving a personal loan for that home. They call it a personal loan because the banks don't want to be assessed the tax. Because remember, you made a purchase. There are taxes associated with that purchase. And they're not just the taxes that's associated with the numbers on a piece of paper. Okay? Well, anyway, the banks give that to you, but to show you, prove to you that it's a personal loan, look at the original docs. The docs show that you purchased a home from a buyer. You were the buyer. No, you purchased the home. You were the buyer. They were the seller. The bank wasn't the seller. You did not buy the home from the bank. You need to understand that. There was a check associated. Now, for those of you, this is a side note, for those of you who need this information, I've talked about it briefly, but I haven't really talked about it in depth. Everybody tells you that the home is already paid off and every payment you make goes into a different account, your account, that same account that that check came from. And because you don't claim the money, so you want to find out what account that is and you want to make deposits to, and from that account, find out what the account number is and start paying them through that account. Those funds are still there. The banks can't take those funds. It doesn't belong to them. They've already been paid by the government, so they can't just take those funds. They wait till after 3 years or until after you are out of the house, and then they collect it as abandonment because you abandoned it. You didn't come back and say, give me my money. Okay? I'm not going to give you the details on this, people. You now have to do the research. I'm now pointing you in a direction that you didn't know you should have been going on in the first place. But this video is, what is a mortgage? You need to understand there is not a mortgage on your home. You see this verb thing? This verb thing is what they created second. This verb thing was not created first. Okay? You don't have a mortgage on your home. In order for you to have had a mortgage, the bank would have had to own the property. You only have a mortgage on the monies borrowed from the bank. Remember, you agreed because you acquired that home with the loan that you received from the bank, not you acquired the home and the bank gave you a home. No, they gave you a loan, a personal loan. You used those funds to acquire the home and you agreed to pay them back. They accepted your credit as collateral because you couldn't get the loan without collateral. They accepted your credit as collateral, not the home, because you couldn't give the home up as collateral because you didn't own it. So you never intended to put the house up as collateral for the loan. You put the house up as collateral for the mortgage-backed security investment, trading your property on the market. And whatever interest came from that, whatever monies came from that, the bank was supposed to take and apply to the balance. That's what you were doing. You feel me? You follow me? You got me? I hope so. Hey, everybody, I got to go. This is only a short, brief interlude from my day. Got work to do. Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good life. Goodbye.